Quick Start Guide for Vets 2. April 27, 2020 by Anna von Reitz. Original sovereign jurisdiction, government of, for, and by the people, people. Our actual government was set up during the War of Independence, between 1776 and 1781. The first instrumentality of this government was the Union of States, published 4 July 1776, as a result of the Unanimous Declaration of Independence issued by the original colonies. A few months later, in September of 1776, these new states joined together and created a federation of the states of the Union doing business as the United States of America. Nearly 5 years later, the states additionally created a confederation to take up some of the slack and conduct commercial business for them. All three, the Union, the Federation, and the Confederation, were set up and functional during the Revolutionary War, and all three continued to function before, during, and after the constitutions were adopted more than a decade later. Stop and think about that. It is important to understand that the federal constitutions, there are three of them, represent the implementation of treaty agreements that were reached with King George and the Pope as part of the peace treaties ending the War of Independence. It is also important to understand that our federal constitutions, like all constitutions, are debt agreements based on service contracts. Someone agrees to do something and someone else agrees to pay for it. In the case of the federal constitutions, the people acting as state citizens and occupying the international land jurisdiction owed to each of the states, agreed to pay for certain enumerated services and also agreed to delegate the powers needed to perform these services to subcontractors. There are 19 enumerated services and 19 enumerated delegated powers granted to three federal subcontractors. They were, are, 1. The States of America, operated by the United States of America, the original Confederation under the Constitution for the United States of America, which were American subcontractors, organized as states of states, doing business under names styled like this, the State of New York. This organization functioned from 1787 to 1863. 2. The British Territorial United States doing business as the United States of America, operating under the Constitution of the United States of America. 3. The Municipal United States Government doing business as the United States, operating under the Constitution of the United States. Do you notice something important? Our actual and original government and its instrumentalities, the Union doing business as the United States, and the Federation doing business as the United States of America and the Confederation doing business as the States of America, don't operate under any constitution. It's only the federal subcontractors that operate under constitutions. Why? Because we don't pay ourselves in gold to mow our own lawns. So our actual government is the Union, the Federation, and the Confederation. The subcontractors are the American federal, British territorial and papal municipal businesses. The American federal subcontractors ceased cooperative operations in 1860, southern states of states walked out, and the remaining federal states of states went bankrupt in 1863, northern states of states. So if you took an oath to protect and preserve the Constitution against all enemies both foreign and domestic, were you told any of this? Did you know that you were taking an oath to support and defend the service contracts of the remaining foreign business interests? Were you told that you would be working for the Pope, Federal Civil Service, or the Queen, U.S. military? Were you told that the American federal subcontractors were out of business, still pending reconstruction? So there was no possibility that you were working directly for the American states and people? Were you told that, ultimately, no matter which remaining federal subcontractor you worked for, Federal Civil Service or U.S. military, you'd be working for the Pope? The Pope directly controls the municipal United States government and the Federal Civil Service, and indirectly controls the U.S. military because the Queen operates as his overseer of Commonwealth, that is, British territorial operations. At any time, was it ever your understanding that you were working for the Pope or the British monarch acting as his overseer? Read that the United States refers to the Pope's municipal government and the United States of America refers to the Pope's territorial, Commonwealth government under the oversight of the British monarch. If you are like most Americans, you thought that the United States of America was the same as the United States of America, but one is a foreign British territorial subcontractor at the federal level, and the other is the Federation of States. Actual states. Exactly which one of these two entities did you mean to give your oath to? The actual government of the American states and people, or a foreign federal subcontractor? And if you were never given full disclosure about any of this, why would you feel obligated to an oath that was made under conditions of deceit and non-disclosure? What possible legal or lawful obligation could ever be created by such an oath, purloined under conditions of non-disclosure? If you enjoy having Anna's latest articles made into videos, please consider making a purchase from Ed's website sacredintuitiveelements.com. Thank you.